Keyboard for the console. Should the next Xbox include a keyboard? Should it just be an option? Should it come standard as far as functionality? I think the answer is probably yes. I think that's probably what we're going to see. Even if we don't think it should, I think we're going to see more and more of these peripherals. If you think about it, the Xbox Series X is compatible with mouse and keyboard. In fact, if you go look on YouTube, there's lots of videos out there on how to turn your Xbox Series X into your gaming PC. And it's interesting. The problem is not all the games on console are compatible with mouse and keyboard. Not all of them work with the full functionality of a mouse and keyboard. The ones that do it okay, but again, you have to be at a desk, and there is no real, Xbox has Xbox headsets, for instance, and I bought an Xbox headset, and it's pretty cheap, but it does its job, and it's decent at doing that job. There is no equivalent of that Xbox is providing for keyboards, and the answer is because while it's an option, it's definitely not something that Xbox is requiring. Will they with the next generation of consoles? I think they will. I think that is exactly where I think there is going to be a decreasing line of difference between the console and the PC. I think that's just where we're going. I think that's where we're heading. And Jez Gordon dropped this article today, why including a keyboard with the next-gen Xbox and PlayStation would boost console gaming. We're going to review that today. Before we do, though, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We drop videos right here, just like this, all the time. I'm X1 the Gamer. Also, we have a Discord. If you want to be part of a community with interesting discussions that comes together, the X1 fam, I call it, then come join the X1 fam. Come join the X1 family. Join the Discord. A link will be pinned to the reply section below. Let's jump into this, and then let's talk about whether or not this is feasible, whether or not it's going to happen, whether or not you want a keyboard, whether or not I want a keyboard with the console, and go from there. So here's the article, windowscentral.com, Jez Gordon, why including a keyboard with the next-gen Xbox and PlayStation would boost console gaming. One overlooked aspect of the console's input landscape could make a big difference next generation. And not necessarily for gaming itself. I bet you, I've not read this, I just saw the headline. I bet you he's going to say social. Because right now, here's the thing. Even on TVs, you know how when you go to your TV and you've got to link up your Netflix account, or if there's not a phone app that lets me scan a QR code and link up from my phone, I struggle because it's just not a good way to input one letter at a time from your remote. It's the same on the Xbox. If you send me a chat, there's a lot of you following me on Xbox. X1 Bros is my gamer tag. Chatting on there, text chat is so hard. Mouse and keyboard changes that completely. Well, not mouse and keyboard. Let's just talk keyboard. Keyboard changes that completely. Keyboard makes it so you could reply via text, no problem. Imagine, for instance, I'm in a dynasty league for Madden. I'm not someone that likes talking on game chat. I find it distracting, especially in a competitive situation. I like being on with my team so I can listen or chime in and call out stuff. But if I'm playing one-on-one against somebody, I'm not the guy that's going to turn on my headset to talk to my opponent on the internet. I would text, though. And I think that that's exactly where a keyboard comes in. I don't text. Number one, it's not a feature. Number two, you can do it through chatting, through Xbox Live Chat, but it's so tedious. It's so inconvenient. Keyboard changes all that. Imagine being able to play Madden and there's a keyboard right in front of you. You can just type up, "Hey, buddy, what you doing? Oh, that nice pass." It takes 2 seconds. We all type. We all know how to type. If you don't know how to type, you've probably been living under a rock for the last 20 years. But I think it does open up. He says not necessarily game itself. I bet you it's social that he talks about. That's where I think that it would open it up anyways. Here's what he says. Microsoft and Sony both are gearing up for their next-gen Xbox, PlayStation consoles. Hardware sales are down year over year, 42%, but their overall revenue for Xbox is up 61% thanks to strong software sales. The industry as a whole, he says, has contracted with large publishers and developers committing to thousands of layoffs over the past couple years. The pandemic boom preceded a post-pandemic rush with users flocking to other types of entertainment and tightening belts in an uncertain economic landscape. So everybody, blah, 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 has changed the whole The whole gaming arena has changed. He says one area of growth Square Enix did report was in massively multiplayer online games like Final Fantasy Online, which, even if you play with a gamepad, hinge on having a certain QWERTY type accessory attached to them. All MMOs do, because you got to communicate via text, via global chat that just pops up on your screen, so you do need the keyboard for that. To that end, it can't be business as usual for Xbox or PlayStation because of all the changes, all the layoffs, the console industry contracting. We expect that there are big changes coming to the way Xbox thinks about its hardware lineup, the plans of which we understand to be finalized now. There are some high-level things Xbox is rumored to be doing, including the ability to run PC platforms like Steam and Epic Games on the next-gen Xbox, for example, which, by the way, this is part of that blurring of the line between the console and the Xbox. I think that's going to happen in the future. I think that's going to be the largest technological leap. Part of it, that line is definitely going to be blurred. Being able to run Steam and Epic on your console, huge to that end. He continues, but I think there's something fairly simple Xbox and PlayStation both could do to change the culture around console gaming, while modernizing it for the dominance of core PC gaming as well as the iPad kid generation. And that is, did he say it? Keyboards. It hides right there. Keyboards, he says. Social gaming rules supreme. Yeah, it's social. It's for social aspect is the number one reason I would use a keyboard. I do not like using keyboard for moving. I think the controller is superior. I like it. I feel better with it than I do with using a keyboard for movement. I play games that obviously, require me to use that, but I do use it obviously for communication every single day. It just works. It works well. It's super convenient. Whether it's old staples like World of Warcraft or modern newcomers like Genshin Impact and Roblox, social gaming now reigns supreme. Agreed. Publishers are bending over backwards to develop multiplayer games to try and find success stories like Fortnite, often with very mixed success. The risk and rewards are undeniable. Risk being you can fail massively. Reward being you make tons of money and have huge success. As even some of the historically biggest online social games like Destiny have struggled to maintain their momentum. New games like Suicide Squad have been prolific flops, but others like Elden Ring, despite having limited social features, even without text inputs, have become huge viral success stories. Indeed, even games that revolve more heavily around their single-player aspects are exploring asynchronous multiplayer features. Elden Ring is again the example he uses. Elden Ring's passive multiplayer features have led to all sorts of memery and hijinks and essentially provide free marketing and virality for the game on top. Multiplayer games of all shapes and sizes have become the social space for millions across the globe, but PC has a clear advantage in this arena for a variety of reasons. Whether it's the choice of peripherals, generalized freedom, zero paywalls for online play, or plurality of hardware options, a pretty simplistic and obvious advantage is the simple keyboard. It really is. Now, you remember that pad, the text pad you used to get for your Xbox that you could put in? Even that is superior. And that's not been a mainstay, but it's still inferior to the keyboard. The keyboard is just so fast. It's become muscle memory for so many of us. It's the best way to communicate. And for someone like me, like I said, I will jump in with my friends on voice chat. I do not jump in with strangers on voice chat. Just not me. It's not in my personality, but I'll text you all day long. PlayStation and Xbox both support keyboards via USB, but they do not come as standard, and the sofa-friendly options are often expensive. The fact that they're not available as standard also discourages developers from adding those features in as standard, since the vast majority of those users simply won't have access to them. But what if Xbox included some sort of QWERTY keyboard in the box? I think you instantly open yourself up to every single PC game wanting to be on console. Here's the thing though. If in the next generation you're able to run Epic and Steam games on your console, you're gonna have a keyboard. Like, keyboard compatibility is the obvious. Whether or not it's included with the Xbox is the question. If the line is blurred, I think it should include one. Granted, it would be more expensive, but how much more expensive would it be? You just need a Bluetooth keyboard. You can get a Bluetooth keyboard for pretty cheap, like $20. $30. So it doesn't add that much onto the price, does it? I don't think it does. So I think it's doable, in other words. The other option is you don't have to have one. It comes with a controller as standard, but here's a bunch of options for you, and we're really going to encourage hardware makers and us as Microsoft Xbox. We're going to create our own as well for the Xbox that you then have the option to buy. I think coming standard, though, kind of sets the precedent and then encourages developers to, hey, utilize these features. So yeah, I think it does need to come standard if this is the route they're going. On-screen keyboards suck. I'm not going to read this because, yeah, we all know it. They're a pain. They're tedious. Oh, here we go. I can already hear some of you saying, but Jez, Xbox headsets and Microsoft and microphones exist. He says, sure, microphones can serve a similar purpose, but you can do so much more with a keyboard than simply chat. Let's put aside the fact that many people just don't want to voice with strangers. He understands me. He gets me. Adding a keyboard with trackpad and mouse too as standard could open up the consoles to a variety of new experiences, whether it's typing on console commands for games like Minecraft. That's true. I never thought of Minecraft, but Minecraft, where you can set up if-then sequences, makes it so much easier with a mouse and keyboard. In fact, that's where most of those major Minecraft creations come in and into play is on with a mouse and keyboard. Being able to search custom games more easily, or even typing in AI prompts for the wave of predictable generative experiences on the horizon. Yeah, even making genres like hardcore RTS viable or more popular. So, I love turn-based and real-time strategy. It is one of my favorite genres. The problem that I have is because I want to sit on the couch, I primarily play on the couch, but those games, mouse and keyboard, superior. Like, no doubt. You have all the control in the world. Although those games have been being developed and ported with a controller in mind, and they do a really good job, it is still, because there's so many menus in those games, it is still the best way to play them is with mouse and keyboard. In fact, it's because of City Skylines, the first one, that I started looking at, hey, how do I hook up my keyboard to the Xbox? Can I use it here? And then I determined it wasn't worth it for City Skylines because the Xbox version doesn't have the PC versions built into it. So it's literally built for a controller. Using a mouse and keyboard doesn't actually improve your circumstance that way. But if you had that option, I think I would use it, particularly if I could use it on the couch in a couch situation. It'd be huge. There are drawbacks in of course, as the standard could inflate the retail price of boxes. Absolutely. Let's just read his conclusion here. So far, I think he's right. I do think he's right here. I think that actually we're going to see this. Given the rise, here he says, given the rise of PC gaming and particularly iPad gaming, I think having some of these expected input modalities would go a long way to bringing console gaming further in line with modern social gaming expectations. Microsoft bundled Kinect with the Xbox One specifically to try and make motion-oriented gaming a standardized option for developers and players. It would never have worked if it wasn't included. Some kind of lappable keyboard or keyboard controller attachment or something that elevates the current on-screen keyboard experience would make socializing on Xbox and PlayStation both a lot easier to accomplish. Especially, think about this. Discord is more integrated with Xbox than ever before and becoming even more integrated. Being able to access even just Discord text chat channels from your Xbox seamlessly, be able to type real quick, jump back into your game would be huge. You can do that on a PC. It makes it really easy. I realized this, Jez said, while playing Diablo 4 recently. Trading items has become a big part of the experience now, but opening the chat log and thumbing in my text into the chat is a pain on the Xbox. The players I'm seeing there are all PC players with keyboards attached. An entire culture of socializing in games is leaving console behind here potentially, and it could be a relatively easy fix. Well done, Jez Gordon. I think this is a great point that he makes. The question: do you think it should come as a standard accessory for Xbox, or would it complicate the console experience? I think he's convinced me. I think it should come standard. I think it has to come standard. Keyboards aren't that expensive. I think you could do it. I think you could do it in a way that makes it that you don't have to raise prices, perhaps, even on your next generation consoles. But I agree with him. It opens up a world of social interactivity that just doesn't currently exist. Now, how do you do it? I have never used, for the record, a lap keyboard. Has anybody? Let me know in the comments if you have used a lap keyboard and what your thoughts are of it. I have debated on using one, again, because of my situation where I play on the couch behind me. My PC setup is right here. It would be nice to just be able to sit back on the couch while playing from my PC. That would be nice. But other than that, I've not ever tried a lap keyboard. Is it as good? Is it a good alternative and solution? I would love to know what you guys think. But I think this makes sense. I think we're going to see the lines blurred for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that the lines they're already pretty blurred if you think about it. And the move, especially with Game Pass and Xbox focus on the Game Pass, it's obvious in my mind that it's only going to become more blurred between PC gaming and Xbox gaming. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments below. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see it included? Does it improve your experience on a console? Would it change anything for you? Are you all in on the controller? It doesn't matter. Controller and voice headset is all you need. Let me know in the comments below. Again, if you want to continue this discussion, come join the X1 family Discord, baby. Become a member of the X1 family. The X1 fam. Sounds kind of lame, right? The X1 fam. Who is this guy? I'm X1 the gamer. Drop videos like this all the time. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.